Hi, everybody. Today you're going to be learning something new, and it's fluency practice. So, fluency is when we're practicing reading aloud and we're practicing good reading skills. We want to make sure that when reading aloud, we're reading like we would talk. We're not reading like a robot, like I am talking right now. We don't have big pauses in between words, and if we make mistakes, we're correcting them. So during our HMH reading program, you are going to be getting a fluency passage for you to practice these skills. And you'll be getting a little mini lesson on fluency. So let me show you what your passage looks like. It looks something like this. Can you see that the title of this is called Under the Big Top with Dad? So the first thing you should do when you're working on your fluency passage is I want you to read it silently to yourself. You will get this in front of you and you should practice just reading the entire thing silently. You can take your time, and as you're reading it, you might stop when you see words that you're not sure how to pronounce. You might circle them with your pencil or mark them with a highlighter. And these might be words that you check with your parents. How do I say this word? Or you can also listen as the teacher reads the text aloud for the first time. And if you pay attention to those words as the teacher reads them, and if you've marked in the text which words you're having trouble with, really listen for those words and you'll be able to pronounce them correctly. So for our first fluency lesson under the Big Top with Dad, we are going to be working on the skills of accuracy and self-correction. So accuracy means when readers are reading the words that are on the page and they're reading them correctly. We want to make sure that we're not making mistakes along the way. Now, nobody's perfect, so sometimes we misread a word or we mispronounce it, and what you should be working on is self-correcting. So accuracy and self-correction, that's our skill for this week. When you self-correct, if you mispronounce it, you pause and you reread it. Sometimes you might even go back to the beginning of the sentence and reread it the correct way. So let's read Under the Big Top with Dad. You should be following along in the text and listening for any words that you may not know. So if you haven't read it silently to yourself first, you might pause my video right now and take a look at the text on your own so that you can see it in its entirety and take a look and practice circling those words that you may not know, and then hit the play button again, and we'll be able to listen to the whole text. So here we go. Onto the Big Top with Dad. Sometimes the circus is called the Big Top. If you had been to the Big Top, you probably saw acrobats. Maybe you watched performers do tricks on a bike, or maybe you saw someone walk up in the air along a high wire. Did you know that many Big Top performers are family members? The Silvas are a circus family. Victor Silva is 10. He has been doing tricks under the Big Top since he was 6. His father, mother, and brother are in the circus too. They have been a circus family for a long time. Even his great-grandfather was a circus performer. So you notice right there, I'm going to pause that I left out one of the greats. So I self-corrected. Maybe I go back and reread it. They have been a circus family for a long time. Even his great-grandfather was a circus performer. Anton Silva is Victor's father. He is also Victor's teacher. Anton's plan is to teach his son everything he knows. Anton began teaching Victor when he was just a baby. He let little Victor play with a ball. He showed Victor how to balance the ball in his hand. He asked Victor to toss and catch it. Soon Victor got good at these skills, so Anton handed Victor 2 balls. Victor learned to juggle the balls. Now Victor can juggle 4 balls. But that's not all. Victor juggles them while walking up high on a tightrope. For safety, there is a net below the tightrope. Did you notice that self-correction? I made a little oopsie when I was reading that Victor juggles them while walking up high on a tightrope, and I corrected as I was reading. Victor enjoys performing with his family. He gets to perform all over the world. Right now, Victor is practicing to do a juggling act with his father, Anton. He loves being under the Big Top with his dad. So you want to practice your fluency passage multiple times. I want you to practice reading it silently the first time. Remember, circling words that you're not sure about, listening to the teacher read aloud, and checking for pronunciation, how to say the words that you may have had trouble with. Checking with the parent of how to pronounce those words also. And then I want you to practice. Read it a couple times. Maybe even pick one paragraph, one chunk that you just want to practice. Sometimes we even pick one sentence and practice just that one sentence over and over. So as we work on self-correction and accuracy, I also want to pay attention to punctuation. So let's take a look in my passage right here. And I had this sentence that said, even his great-great-grandfather was a circus performer. That was a sentence that I had trouble on. So I'm practicing my self-correction. I did correct myself to get the 3 grades, but I want to keep practicing it a few times so I say it exactly how I want to. I noticed that there's an exclamation point at the end, so I want to make sure that I exclaim this because that would be doing it accurately according to what the exclamation point wants me to do. So it might sound like this. Even his great-great-great-grandfather was a circus performer. Let's try it again. Even his great-great-great-grandfather was a circus performer. Maybe one more time. Even his great-great-great-grandfather was a circus performer. Okay, see how I'm practicing multiple times? So when we practice fluency, sometimes you don't have to read the whole thing over again. Sometimes you can just pick a sentence or a chunk and practice multiple times. Now, when you're all finished practicing and you think you've got it really good and you're reading accurately, you have the words correct, and you have a nice flow, you're not reading like a robot, then I want you to make a screencastify recording of you reading this passage. You're going to have a little box in the corner, just like I have right now, and you're going to have the text in front of you, and you're going to be reading on the screen and doing your best reading for your teacher to listen to. All right, good luck practicing your fluency. Bye-bye.